Hey folks, welcome to Fyrefly's Follies. I hope that you enjoy the video today. If you do, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. It really does help my channel out a lot. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I hope that you will and that you'll stick around for a while. So before I get started, I have to give this disclaimer. This video is for entertainment purposes only. This is not an instructional video. I am going to be canning macaroni and cheese today. Now, this is a rebel canning method. This is not approved by the National Center for Home Food Preservation or by the FDA or any other alphabet agency that's out there. I believe in my kitchen, my rules, and untested by the federal government does not necessarily equal unsafe. All that being said, I'm not saying that this is something you should do. I've done the research. I'm comfortable doing this. I strongly suggest that you do the research and you do what works for you in your kitchen. Now, we've gotten that disclaimer out of the way. I am going to be putting up a few jars of macaroni and cheese. Now, this is not beautiful oven-baked adult macaroni and cheese. This is the macaroni and cheese that you get out of a jar, get out of a can. So, to start, I have some elbow macaroni. I have my jars sanitized and in the dishwasher. I will be pressure canning, so I am using my Presto 23-quart pressure canner, and I have done all the safety checks on it. I've got the right amount of water in it, and it's just sitting here at room temperature. I haven't turned it on yet. Everything that I'm going to be doing today is going to be at room temperature. I am going to be using 2 pints of my cheddar cheese sauce. Now, I get this, it's Member's Mark cheddar cheese. I get it from Sam's in a number 10 can, and I recan it in pints and half pints. And I don't have any chicken stock available, so I'm going to be using some turkey stock. And all that I'm going to do is I'm going to mix my cheese sauce and my turkey stock half and half, equal parts. And I'm going to mix it until it is nice and smooth. And I don't normally store my canned goods with the rings on, but I'm preparing to move, so I had actually packed this up. I'm just going to work to whisk this in a little at a time. I want it to be thoroughly combined and smooth. And I'm using a pitcher because my biggest mixing bowl won't hold what I need. Alright, that's well combined and nice and smooth. So I'm just going to sit this to the side, and I'm going to get my jars out and start getting them ready. Okay, I cleaned up just a little bit, got my jars out, got my funnel. And what I do, I can in half pints. It's just me. There's no reason for me to can more than that. This is enough for a meal. Usually it's enough for 2. Holds about a cup. It's plenty for one person, at least for this person. If you can in pints, you want to double the amount. So all that I am going to do is I'm going to put 1/3 of a cup of macaroni, and that's not a heaping cup, that's a scant 1/3 cup, into each of my jars. Now I'm going to go ahead and get all of my jars filled with the pasta. Now, I am going to fill these to just over 1 inch of headspace. And I'm going to do 2 or 3 at a time. And there are lots of air bubbles because it's pasta. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to stir it up really, really good. If I were doing pints, I would leave 1.5 inches of headspace. I'm doing half pints, so I'm going to leave 1 inch of headspace, maybe just a little over. I'm going to debubble these a second time. Now I'm going to clean my rims, and I just use paper towel and vinegar. We're pressure canning, so I am not heating my lids. So my lids go on. My rings go on, fingertip tight. And then I'm going to shake them and put them straight into the canner. Alright, so I'm going to get the rest of these done. And the reason that I only do 3 or 4 at a time is because your macaroni will start to clump up. That's also the reason I give it a final shake before I set it over in the canner. And grab a jar. And with my leftover cheese soup, and this is how I make my cheese soup, is half cheese sauce, half chicken or turkey stock. I'm just going to put this in a pint jar, put a lid on it, put it in the fridge, and I'm going to make some au gratin potatoes with it. Alright, so that's in the fridge for dinner. So I use the 3-piece weighted regulator, and for my altitude I can at 10 pounds weighted. You always want to can at the proper pressure for your altitude, and I always leave a link below where you can get the altitude for your address. So what I'm going to do is I am going to bring this up to a full steam and let it vent for 10 minutes, and then I'm going to bring it up to pressure, and I'm going to let it process for 20 minutes. When that 20 minutes is up, I'll turn the heat off. I'll let it come down off of pressure naturally. And let them sit for just a few minutes. Once the lock drops, I'll take the lid, just kind of set it to the side a bit, let them sit for just a few minutes, and when it's time to take them out, I'll bring you back and show you what my next steps will be. Alright, so I brought the canner up to a full steam and I let it vent for 10 minutes, and then I put my weight on and brought it up to pressure and I let it process. And once the time was up, I shut the heat off and I let it come down off pressure naturally, and I set the lid aside just a little bit. And they've been sitting for about 10 or 15 minutes. I've heard several of them seal. So now let's get them out and see how they turned out. Hold that up where you can see it. Mac and cheese, ready to eat. Now, I'm told that this is shelf stable for a couple of years. I'm going to be perfectly honest, I have never canned enough to last me 2 years. This will last me 6 months to a year, depending on whether or not I have a craving for mac and cheese more than once a month. I live in a very small space and I don't have a lot of storage, so I typically don't can more than 6 months or a year of something. I really hope that you enjoyed the video today. If you did, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. It really does help my channel out so much. If you haven't subscribed yet, I hope that you will and that you'll stick around for a while. If you hit the notification bell, YouTube will notify you when I upload new videos. Thank you so much for watching today. Y'all have a great day.